जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय जय गोपीजन यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदनन्दन यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदनन्दन यमुनातीरावनचारि यमुनातीरा यमुनातीरावनचारि यमुनातीरा जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय ओम विश्वपाद पंस परिव्राजकाचार्य श्रोत्र श्री श्रीमद अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शीला प्रभुपाद की जय। इस्कॉन पीवीटी फाउंडर आचार्य शीला प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विश्वपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र श्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्रीला हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गो गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिराज गोवर्धन की गंगा माई यमुना माई की जय। भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। ऑल ग्लोरी टू द assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories, always to Guru and Shri Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 9, Chapter 14, verses 44 and 45. स्थालिस्थानं गतो स्वत्थं शमी गर्भं विलक्ष्य स तेन द्वे अराणि कृत्वा उर्वशी लोककाम्यया उर्वशीं मन्त्रतो ध्यायन् अधराराणिम् उत्तराम् आत्मानम् उभयोर्मध्ये यत्तत् प्रजननं प्रभु. Translation: when the process of fruitive yajna became manifest within his heart, King Pururava went to the same spot where he had left Agni's thali. There he saw that from the womb of a shami tree an ashwatha tree had grown. He then took a piece of wood from that tree and made it into 2 aranis. Desiring to go to the planet where Urvashi resided, he chanted mantras meditating upon the lower Arani as Urvashi, the upper one as himself, and the piece of wood between them as his son. In this way he began to ignite a fire. Purport by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charana Arvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. The Vedic fire performing yajna was not ignited with ordinary matches or similar devices. Rather, the Vedic sacrificial fire was ignited by the Aranis, or two sacred pieces of wood which produce fire by friction with a third. Such a fire is necessary for performance of yajna. If successful, a yajna will fulfill the desire of its performer. Thus Pururava took advantage of the process of yajna to fulfill his lusty desires. He thought of the lower Arani as Urvashi, the upper one as himself, and the middle one as his son. A relevant Vedic mantra quoted herein by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur as is Shami Garbhad Agni Mantha. A similar mantra is Urvasham Urashi Pururava. Pururava wanted to have children continuously by the womb of Urvashi. His only ambition was to have sex life with Urvashi and thereby get a son. In other words, he had so much lust in his heart that even while performing yajna, he thought of Urvashi instead of thinking of the master of yajna, Yagneshwara, Lord Vishnu. Om Ajnanatimirantasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangulangati Girim Yat Kipataham Mande Shri Guru Deenataranam Vancha Kalpata Vaishya Kipasindra Chapatitanam Pavan Vaishnavebhyo Namo. His only ambition was to have sex life with Urvashi and thereby get a son. In other words, he had so much lust in his heart that even while performing yajna, he thought of Urvashi instead of thinking of the master of yajna, Yagneshwara, Lord Vishnu. So, we can see that even if somebody has like any desire, yes, like over here Prabhupada is writing it very vividly, that yes, he has so much lust, yes, he has so much kama, that he's performing the yajna to get Urvashi. He's ready to have so many children and ready to maintain them just so that he can be with Urvashi. Yes, this is the extent at which people can be maddened. And this is common, so common in Kali Yuga, that every other person has this. Yes. And hence, there is a path given on how to do that. Even if you have these desires, you are still accepted in the Vedic culture. There is a way. Because after you do that which is connected to Krishna, you will get purified. Yes. So the prayaschitta for anyone, yes, the prayaschitta for any mistakes done or anything to be desired, atoned for, is not something material, it's something spiritual. Yes. The solution is to have the light instead of the darkness. Yes. To add more darkness to a room filled with darkness does not make a difference. But if you have one lamp in that unlimited amount of darkness, no matter how much the darkness is, infinite number of darkness, but that one lamp is going to shine something in the whole room. Yes, we will be able to see something. And hence, that light, that lamp is Krishna consciousness. This is very difficult to apply because coming from being conditioned in this material world for a long time, like conditioned living entity, yes, conditioned spirit soul. The conditioning is so thick that moralistic and justice takes superiority over spirituality. Yes. And hence, we have to be very careful. We need the guidance of our seniors, of our superiors, of our gurus, and definitely Guru Parampara, Guru Sadhu Shastra. Why? To understand that how one can fulfill their desire and at the same time not get entangled so much that they cannot get out of it. Yes, that's why there is a specific way. And hence, if we follow the specific way, we will get purified. So the problem isn't having the desires. Yes, because as conditioned soul, we are going to have desires. And we definitely, at least for me, even though we don't want to do it, we might end up doing it. Yes, we want to do so many things. Like I want to like do nice japa, or talk nicely. Yes, be focused, study more. But obviously your mind gets distracted very easily, and you'll be talking prajalpa. You're talking nonsense. You don't want to do it, but you'll still do it. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. Yes, but still, the point is that to overcome that, it's not there is some other prayaschitta. The prayaschitta is to be Krishna conscious, to try to be more and more into devotional service. Why? Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. Krishna demands that you abandon all varieties of religion and surrender unto me. And he is the one who is going to take away all the papa. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo. Who is that? Aham tvam sarva papebhyo. Radha Govind Maharaj was asked this question, that there's so many sins we are doing every single day. How to control this? How to do this? How to do that? We are not able to control. Radha Govind Maharaj smiled, and I could feel the smile in the audio. And then he was saying, "Kaun bola ki paap band karo?" He says it very funny. And I was like, what? He like, Krishna demands you abandon all varieties of religion. He's not demanding give up sinful activities. Yes, we have to give up. That's not an option. That is not what he's trying to say. That you continue doing them. But the thing is that our job is to focus on Krishna more and more. Focus on how we can serve Krishna more and more. How we can glorify Him more and more. Yes, by doing that, automatically the darkness will go away. I think Haripasha Prabhu was mentioning this, that for dukkha, to remove dukkha, it's like to get sukha, do you remove dukkha? Or to get sukha, you get sukha and then first you get sukha and then dukkha will go away. He was asking this. And this is obvious for everybody, all of us as devotees, that we have to get sukha. That then the dukkha which is there does not matter. And the same way, if Krishna consciousness is there in our life, if we have Krishna, if we have Srila Prabhupada's instructions, and if we cherish them, if we have affection, then that Krishna will reciprocate in such a way that even the dukkha is not dukkha anymore. Yes. Otherwise, how is it that our great acharyas are able to do so much physically impossible things? Is because they have taken total surrender unto Krishna. Yes, the addition of Krishna is so much that the darkness is nil. It's not there. Yes. And they're focusing to add more and more in everybody else's life. Yes. And that's why usually we try to focus on these things that, oh, see, he's not proper, he's still eating, these things, or he's drinking, or he's doing this. So he needs to stop this first and then start devotional service. He cannot chant otherwise. No, he cannot do this, he cannot do that. Yes, definitely there are rules and regulations, and they are given so that we can remain pure. Yes, the Lord on the altar, He would not like it, and that's why we try to maintain all these principles. But on the other hand, a person who does not know at all, he is not to be preached the first instance that, oh, you have to be a Paramhamsa to actually chant Hare Krishna. No, it's the other way around. You chant Hare Krishna, then you will become a Paramhamsa. Otherwise you cannot. So sometimes as devotees, because we are now practicing, so we sometimes are like, oh, itni simple si cheez nahi kar pa rahe log. But it might not be simple for them. For us, it's like some sannyasi was telling, Amrinder Prabhu was explaining this once, that one sannyasi took a vow that in Kartik he will not do prajalpa. Yes, at all. And then he's like, I did not last after even 3 days. And then Amrinder Prabhu was like, it is not that the sannyasi is fallen. That's why he's saying, no, he's such a great personality that for him, even, talking about the worldly affairs is also prajalpa, So even it's so hard to not be speaking prajalpa. That is what he was exemplifying and talking. And so, from our level, we are like, oh, Maharajas are so great, they are such great sannyasis. Or second initiated devotees are so great that, they have to do 3 sandhya, the Gayatri is there, then this is there, and that is there, you have to get up early, and blah, blah, blah. So many things are there. There's the Brahmin thread, then the mantras are there, the pujas are there, oh my God. And so the first initiated would think, oh, this is such a great thing. But it's the same hierarchy, And that's why time, place and circumstance. Contemporary preaching means that you see the position of the person. Yes. And then how that person can be raised in Krishna consciousness. That is more important. Rather than rejecting him on the basis of our own superiority. That we are so superior, that this person is so useless, that he doesn't deserve to be like this. It's very difficult. And to be in that position also, when you are in big positions, I was talking to Mata and, it's like, for a very small issue, we were discussing that day, right? And you are saying that, oh, I've seen this so many times. And I'm like, okay, how can you deal with this, But it's like, the higher the position, the higher the humility you need actually, to tolerate. Tinadapi sunichena, Maharaj was explaining that yes, it can come from washing vessels, but it's like in washing vessels, it's good because that you're doing menial service and everything. Yes, that is one perspective. But I got to know that the other perspective is that when you are in a higher position and you have to deal with people now, with washing vessels, you're just dealing with the vessels, And then one person might come and say, I remember once, the first time or twice, I was like, the first time when I washed, and I'm like, this is too much, washing temple vessels is big deal, Washing vessels at home was nothing, but this is something big now. And I washed it and Pasati Prabhu, and I was like, Prabhu, everything is okay, right? I think it was 5 years back. And then he came to me, see, there is something over here. Those bartans we use for kheer, when the kheer becomes thickened and the sugar and then everything sticks, and it goes in that those bowls. And even after washing the whole thing, it's like those bowls are the ones which the cook will see. So then the bowls are over having all those traces. Like, see, this is how you... And I was like, oh my God, and it's like, it wasn't like, is it a problem? It is a problem, right? It's not good. So I cleaned it again, I saw everything, and then I showed it to him. And he's like, no, it's fine. Because he's like, I'm cleaning it for the first time. But if I do that repeated mistake after 4 years also, he'll be like, dude, you really need to clean properly. So, but the thing is that with vessels, it's only one person you're responsible to. Yes? or 2 people, 3 people, whatever. But when you are in a superior position like a temple president, a temple commander, or so many of these positions are there, the heads of so many departments, then the complaints, then the this and then the that, it's like you really need to be tolerant. Yes, that's the test of Trinadapi Suni Chena. Otherwise, there is no way you can run things. It's not possible, It's like to tolerate the kids of the congregation. And it's like Maharaj explains that, they are just mature, they are not mature, they are just adult kids. And then you have to treat them like that sometimes, You have to punish them, otherwise it doesn't work out. But from a lower perspective, we will always blame, that, whatever happens is, the temple is not doing this, the temple is not doing that. But this is the whole problem. Why? Because we are not used to a state of doing selfless service. Yes? To actually understand that the Lord is in control and it is all arranged by the Lord is very difficult. And yes, we will have our desires, like over here. He's a king. And the king is behaving in such a pitiful way. He's becoming mad. He's not even thinking what everybody else is going to think. This is the 9th canto. People are going to read this all forever. He's becoming so mad for Urvashi. And similarly, we become maddened by lust, by our own desires. And when they are not fulfilled, yes, we will be hurt. It is common. It is not that the hurt is not there. Yes, it is there. But at the same time, we should know how to, that is a place of a Brahmana, that he knows how to channel that hurt, channel that, that desire in a way that it will not be displeasing Krishna. Yes. And hence, over here is doing these yagyas not to please Krishna. Yes, instead of thinking of the master of yajna, Lord Vishnu, he's thinking of Urvashi. But we see later that even after he did all of this, still he goes back home, back to Godhead in the 11th canto. Yes? So there is that hope. He is behaving so drastically bad, Ajamil also, horrible stuff he did. The sins which he did are so crazy that he actually looted, he actually disowned his own parents. He kicked them out. They were Vaishnavas. Kicking them out. And kicking them out and putting them in a place, in an old age home or something like that, and he's looting people. He becomes a thief. He's murdering people. For whom? For the prostitute, who already had 8 children. Not from him. They were not from him. And he's had his own son now, 9th son. And now he's named him Narayana. Why? Because a pure devotee was sure to make him liberated. Narad Muni, somehow or the other, he told him to name his son Narayana. And then Krishna took over because he was a devotee before. Krishna did not forget his service. Yes, your eternal well-wisher. There Maharaj was one day, his class is there, your eternal well-wisher. And he was explaining, how can somebody be an eternal well-wisher? First of all, to be an eternal well-wisher, you need to know eternity. Yes, our parents can say, I am eternally, your parents, and I am grateful and blah, 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 blah. But after this life, it's gone. Because it's attached to the body, not to the soul. But over here, Srila Prabhupada always wrote, your eternal well-wisher. Because he meant it. For Ajamil, Krishna did not forget. And for all of us, Prabhupada won't forget. And that is our only hope. That is our only hope. Because to be stuck, over here, Pururava knows how to do Vedic sacrifices. He's not using the modern methods to have sex life. Yes, but for us, yes, we know too much about the material world. And what is the hope? There is no hope. There is no hope. But there is one hope. And that is Srila Prabhupada. So, Haldar Maharaj says that Guru Puja we do every single day. Prabhupada Puja we do every single day. It's not only on his Vyas Puja that we are just grateful. Or his disappearance day which is coming next week. The next Tuesday only. So I was telling Damodar Prabhu that don't shift me. it's my turn for the class. So it's good. So, but the whole point is that what can be more hopeful than him coming to the West and actually performing all these pastimes which were never seen before in 5,000 years of Kali Yuga. So we are actually in a hopeless situation. To understand, to know it's another thing, but to really understand, to really understand is something else. Like, this is one thing which I got to know yesterday, we were thinking about it, is that in the temple, when devotees live, when even everybody there, even Mataji, so many people are there, but none of us will think that this is, like, yes, it's my temple in a way that I'm devoted to this temple, but we will still think that who is the master of the temple, right? Always Mataji will be referring that, oh, it's his plan, he'll decide if everything can go good or not. Eventually we have to leave that on him. But we know over here that, okay, kiska chalega, it's like the Lord is in control. Somewhere it might not be so evident, but it is there. But when you go home, yes, over there you might have an altar. You might have, some small puja place or something in the corner. And in India, every home has that. But not, we might say that this is our Lord's home and He's the controller of everything. But to really practice that is something different. Why? Because we might not, like the sofa in our house, the garbage in the house or the bushes in the house, we have to do service, we have to cut it and do so many things, right, at home. But we might not see that we are doing it for the Lord. Over here, if somebody comes and does service, it is so evident. Yes, they had put photos about the greenhouse which they did. And it's so wonderful. They cleaned it up and they put photos over there. And I was like, wow, so many people are doing so many things. And Nampriya Mataji was actually telling this once, that Prabhu, so many people in the congregation are doing so many things. And I'm like, oh, wow. It's like crazy, It's like, and that's why I think we should have sessions, Like, I know Mataji doesn't get enough time to actually tell who is doing what, because she knows everything, like 99% of the things, obviously. So, but we should have that session, where we know that who's doing what at least, right? Because if we don't get time. But that's another thing. So, over here it's very clear that, okay, the greenhouse is going to be used for Tulsi Maharani, which is going to be used for Radha Madhavari. Yes, at home, we might have decorative items, but what are they used for? Yes, it's a big question. And yesterday I was talking to, one of my roommates, and we were discussing, and then he's like, Prabhu, I have to give you rent. Something like that. Or you have to give you whatever, from some pending Lakshmi I have to give you, and blah, blah, blah. And I was just in my room, and I was just looking at the photo of the Lord. Like, oh, actually, yes, you're right, you have to give it to me. But actually, the landlord, because we say landlord, right? The Lord is the landlord, actually, right? But we have not developed that consciousness that you actually owe Him the money, not me. It is His home. We are trying to do seva for Him. We are trying to please Radha Madhavari, Srimati Radharani, Nitai Gaurahari, and Shinaji Gopal. We are trying to please them. And because of them, today I am surviving. Because of them, today I am getting prasad. Because of them, I have a congregation to celebrate. Govardhan Puja, Diwali, do Damodar Ashtakam. So because of them I'm having everything. So it's actually, they are my proprietor. Bhuktaram yajna tapasam sarva lokamaheshwaram. And hence, deity worship is so important. That is one aspect. It is so clear that if we don't come to the temple, if we don't focus on the temple, it's only in the temple we can have that, develop that quality of Bhuktaram yajna tapasam. Otherwise, at home, I'm very sure, yes, sorry to say, but I'm very sure that sofa in that house, which was brought by some conception when we went to At Home or Ashley's, it was not the conception that the Lord would be happy that we should have this sofa over here. Very sure. But in the temple, if this thing goes there, it is for the Lord. These things are over here is because devotees will come and sit. The books are over here so that Srila Prabhupada can be glorified. Krishna can be glorified. It's so direct. And that's why to think that I can just chant, Prabhupada mentioned in his lecture, to just think that you can chant and, ignore deity worship, and not far at all. Yes. And hence, coming on Sundays at 5 p.m. exactly, not at 6 o'clock, not at 6:30. Why? Doing Harinam Sankirtan together as a congregation. Yes. Not because it's my turn and hence I'll come on time. No. If we don't sing together, if we don't chant together, then it is a problem. Then Krishna won't be happy. Yes, because he's watching. Oh, this person is coming at 7 o'clock. so it's like sometimes when I'm late, it's like, oh my God, But yes, sometimes it's fine, but our mood should be that no, I cannot miss Gaur Aarti. I have to be here before the conch. Why? The Lord is going to give his darshan for whom? To karmis? No. I am not purified enough. I am caught in my own samsara. Having a home, you're caught in samsara. As simple as that. It's not like you're living in the temple and then everything is directed towards the temple, right? How much ever the devotees in the temple want to do their own thing, 90% of the whole day is related to the Lord. Now like Pasade Prabhu is doing puja. They have to. But at home, we don't have to. There is a big option we've got. And hence, temple is very important. And hence, we've always I've always thought that why people say that, oh, ghar pe hai hamara, hum apna kar lenge. No. We won't progress much. At home, we don't have that consciousness that this is the Lord's property. It is not there at all. And if somebody thinks they have it, we'll see around the home what they have put on the walls. We get to know what it is, we get to know the consciousness. Yes. So that's why we have to be very careful when we apply philosophy on ourselves. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande Hare, Granth Srimad Bhagvatam ki jai.